What it is, y'all? It is your old boy Pilk, and this. Whoa! So we just yesterday got a trailer for season 5 of Danmachi, and this is absolutely huge, absolutely huge. So for the people, just to kick this off, for the people that kind of want to jump ahead in their reading, if you haven't already, these are going to be covering books 16, book 17. We'll get to those two characters here in a minute. And book 18, apparently. And that is some reading because 18 is a thick boy. It's 450 pages-ish. So if you want to jump ahead, you've got some required reading. Season 5, I kind of assume... I mean, look at how many pages this is. It's like over 1,000 pages of reading. It's either going to be a really long season or they're going to abbreviate a lot of stuff. Now, in fairness, a lot of what happens in season 5... is going to be it's a lot of internal. It's not like season 4 in a lot of ways. There's a lot of internal monologue, but how well it's going to translate is kind of a question mark. But we'll see. It looks pretty nuts. Now, unfortunately, I can't show you the full trailer behind me because I don't want my video to get claimed. But we will talk about some key moments here, and really, the number one character obviously beyond Belle, is not her, Seer. That is the wrong clip. Whatever. Basically, it opens up. You get a shot of her talking to Ryu, and she's finally making her move. She's going after Belle. It be what it be, right? We knew it was going to happen at some point. You got all these people vying for his attention, and she's like, "Nah, this is my moment. This is a thing." And while in the face of it, you're like, oh, romantic comedy, tragedy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You got the standard, love triangle conflict. Obviously, telling Ryu's a thing because Ryu and Belle just had this huge adventure, for lack of a better way to put it, last season / last few books. They were trapped in the dungeon together, and they went through absolute hell and back. So... for her to tell Ryu this is a big deal, right? This is not a small admission. A little naive, but I have a feeling that Ryu probably is aware of a few things beyond what we as the reader are privy to at this point in time. And you'll kind of begin to understand more of what I'm talking about. And we'll try not to spoil too much here. But what's really interesting is Hestia even mentioned, she's like, I've never met her. I have no clue who she is. So it's like, Belle's never made he's never made it a secret. In fact, Seer always makes him lunch. So it's not like this is something that he's hidden. This is not something he's deliberately gone out of his way to make sure nobody knows what's happening. It's just an interesting little tidbit. For those that know. Some people are going to go back and rewatch this postseason and go, oh. So, yeah, it's interesting. But basically, then you kind of get the introduction of these new characters. Hedon, and eventually you get Hagni. I think he's in the trailer here. Hedon is kind of training Belle, and you get these this down on one knee moment. But a lot of this seems to revolve around Seer and her desire to go on this date with Belle, and then she's like, take me away, let's leave. Which obviously, is insanely taboo. He's literally... So he's well known in this town, and he is growing faster than anyone ever has, and he's got things ahead of him. I'm trying not to get into the realm of heavy speculation or spoilers. I'm just going to say, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you are in for a ride. So, yeah, I really don't want to spoil too much. But that gentle balance, you know what I mean? So, on the face of it, one thing I will mention here, and this is kind of something I'm noticing overall. I talked about it in my Wistoria episodes and things like that, how I feel like JC Staff's got their work ahead of them. So far, I see a lot of techniques and things here that really show me that they are stepping up their game. And we know they work with Amori. They know that there are a number of things that they're doing to improve their overall. I mean, season 4 was the best season we'd ever seen visually. Maybe not story-wise, but definitely visually, they really brought their A game. Something I'm noticing here, the slightly out-of-focus back characters that are clearly like their own frame. Seer is kind of like her own thing and the primary focus. And in the foreground, I don't think that soft focus in the background is something we've really seen a lot of out of JC Staff in prior series. So, that's an interesting thing. Also, they have a new soundtrack and a new song by a band I'm not terribly familiar with, Green Boys. Apparently, they're also making some music for the game, which is really interesting. For those of you that are playing, Memoria Freeze Battle Chronicle with us, it looks like they're making some music for that game too, so it's really interesting. But all in all, this looks like it is going to be a really interesting season and a lot of insanity, absolute insanity towards the end. Another scene. Notice here. These guys are slightly in focus. They're way out of focus over there on the other side where my arm can't reach because my green screen cuts off. And you've got Belle here, obviously, like, dressed to the T's. And that's another thing that's worth noting, is every scene they're showing here, I didn't notice anything that wasn't just top-notch, top-quality animation. So, I don't think... There's the voice right there. So, obviously, they're going... That should be an interesting meeting. There are no situations in here that I looked at the animation and went, okay, classic. No, everything seems to be really top-notch. Way better than I expected. Now, we will see. We're all obviously going to have 1 or 2 episodes where you're going to go, okay, yeah, it's classic JC Staff. It is what it is. But on the face of it so far, I'm really excited. I really like... They really seem to have gone all out. And I won't lie, I think a good percentage of that is going to be them working with Amori on this season. So, by and large, this season should, in theory, be the most insane season we've ever seen. A lot of lore, a lot of just interesting things happening. And things that... Little Easter eggs they've been dropping all throughout the series, especially Season 1. We're going to get a lot of payoff from Season 1 in their early books. So, there you guys go. If you want to read ahead, you have until October. Books 16, 17, and 18 in the light novel series. Yes, we are that deep into the light novels. Other than that, like, comment, share all the good stuff, and I will be back with more coming up real soon.